back at the gate leg table. Well, I found out that somebody put a coating over the top of this. Let me turn it around and show you. Well, I've been scraping it. I don't know if you guys can see that right there. I've been just carefully trying to scrape it off so you can see it all there. And then here where it's duller, there it is right there. See all that? So I'm going to work on scraping this off, and then let's see how the tabletop is after I'm done. Just showing you how you hand scrape a table. So you hold it, your card scraper, with a little tiny bit of a bend. And you always go with the grain. You have to hold it at an angle. You don't want to scrape the table with these sharp ends. Somebody put a coating on this, and they didn't prepare the table properly. So that, my friends, is how you scrape a table with a card scraper. All right, now that we scraped the table, we're gonna hit it with the sander. Let's see how it turns out. I'm just gonna lightly sand it, scuff sand it. All right, I got her all sanded down. I'm just gonna put a little stain on it to cover up some of the uneven spots. All right, let's stain it. I'll get right back to you. Well, she's all wiped down. She's still wet. But the color blended in really nice. Well, it's been 24 hours. I'm excited to see the table. Let's go check it out. Oh yeah, she looks good. She still needs to cure. You know how oil-based stain is, but yeah, we'll let this cure and then we'll get on to the next step. All right, it's a few days later. Now the table looks blotchy, and like I said before, this is not an antique restoration. So this is how it came out. All right, so we're going to see if we can change the top at all with our rub-on poly. See if we can get this all blended in. All right, let's get to it. All right, this is what I use, wipe-on poly. And I just use a small rag. I ball it up. I'll show you. And you want to keep this stuff stirred. Don't shake it because you'll make bubbles. But you just want it to be mixed. Not a good idea to open it over the table either. All right. So like I said, I just make like a little padding. I saturate my rag. Just like it to get in there. Really brings out the color. Now you don't want to go over it too much because it's going to start to cure already. So I just like to back brush my strokes. All right, that looks good. Let's move to the middle section. Section gets a little harder because now you have to reach across. But it can be done. Just take your time. I'd rather you lean on it with your stomach, and then when you go to make the swipe, then clean it up. Let's see how, like that. So it's all right if you lean into it over here, because you're gonna clean it up on the swipe that aims towards your stomach. If that makes any sense. And keep on stirring it while you're working. Just shake it around a little bit. Okay, I'm not going to touch that anymore. All right. Okay, let's do the last section. A little goes a long way. So just, if you need to practice on something, find something to practice on first. Now make sure you open your rag up and put it outside, because you do not want it to combust. It will catch on fire. So I should have, yeah, I have plenty to do some more. All right, so we're going to put this outside and let it dry. Now with the Wipe-On Poly, this is the kind I have, Minwax Wipe-On Polyurethane, fast drying. I love this because it makes it so simple. You don't have to use a brush and be all fussy and stuff. The best way to do it, like I said, is do a little sample, but you just want to wipe it on. Well, it's similar to floor wax. when you do your vinyl floors and you squeeze down the floor wax and it's white and you rub it out, the best thing to do is have your sponge soaked, and then when you put some on the floor, you just want to make sure it's a very thin coat. If you do it too thick, it's going to dry and it's going to look horrible. So how I used to do the wood floor is exactly how I do the wipe on poly. A very thin coat, get it on there. You don't even need to see it. You just want a very thin coat and let it dry, let it do its thing. You can put on multiple coats, but you don't want to have stripes and puddles and all this kind of stuff. Let me turn it around and I'll show you. It's not perfect, but this is the first coat. So this is what we want to do, is we want to build up coats so it's all even. All right, let me show you this spot. See how it looks dry right here in this area? Oh, right there. See it? Okay, that's because this was sanded more than the center. I just did a scuff sanding so it would accept the stain to sit on top and the poly, right? So you can see it's not dry yet, but it's splotchy looking. But that's okay, because we're going to let it dry completely, and then we're going to come back to it. So this first side over here, you can tell, has dry spots. This is definitely a dry spot, but that's okay. Let's let this cure, and then we'll come back to it. All right, I'm going to end the video here because we don't want it to get too long. You guys have a blessed day. I'll see you on the next video. Yeah, I kind of think it's funny putting bloopers at the end, so enjoy it. See you next time. Let's let's